1.83. It says 4.93.
Not even 4.5 pounds. You guys are charging people for 6.17 pounds.
The two stories you just saw are not accidents, and they're not isolated cases. According to investigations and lawsuits across the United States, discrepancies like underweight products and overcharging have allegedly occurred repeatedly at Walmart, the largest retail chain in America. What makes this especially concerning is how small and easy to miss these discrepancies can be. But over time, they can quietly drain hundreds, even thousands of dollars from consumers' pockets. In this video, we're breaking down 15 deceptive and misleading practices that have been investigated, litigated, or reported by consumers, revealing what may actually be happening behind familiar store shelves at Walmart. And at the end of this video, we'll share the simplest and most practical ways to help you protect yourself, from checking your receipt and re-weighing products to the exact steps you should take if you spot a discrepancy. Now, let's begin with the first tactic, a quiet profit strategy that may affect nearly every shopper who walks into a grocery store. 1. Charging more at checkout than the shelf price. This is a tactic Walmart has been accused of using for many years. The price scanned at checkout is higher than the price displayed on the shelf or in advertisements. Shoppers may select a product based on the lower posted price, but when they check out, they are charged a higher amount without realizing it. A shopper on the subreddit r/frugal shared that two items they purchased at Walmart rang up higher than the shelf price. One item was overcharged by more than 13%, and another by as much as 26% compared to the listed price. The customer had to take a photo of the shelf price, bring it to the register, and the store admitted that this was a recurring issue. An article describing the experience of customer Jennifer G. posted on Facebook stated she was overcharged by $6.06 at a self-checkout station. Shelf price was $2.32, but checkout rang up $8.38. Another Facebook post reported that a user was charged more than the shelf price multiple times. Although the store adjusted the price when questioned, customers often had to notice and report the discrepancy themselves in order to receive a refund, and many noted that this happens frequently. This practice violates advertising laws and consumer protection regulations because customers are being quietly overcharged. The economic consequences are significant. Millions of shoppers end up paying more than the correct price, resulting in financial harm and a loss of trust. In 2025, Walmart agreed to pay $5.6 million to settle a lawsuit brought by California prosecutors, who accused the company of charging higher prices at the register than those advertised. Previously, Walmart had also been fined for similar violations after failing to correct pricing errors as ordered by a court. Common issues include systems failing to update promotional prices or deliberately keeping shelf prices lower than scanned prices to profit from customers' inattention. For example, in California, prosecutors discovered numerous items being mispriced, requiring Walmart to commit to retraining employees to ensure accurate price scanning for customers. 2. Short weighting and mislabeling weight to overcharge customers. Another sophisticated tactic is weight fraud on items sold by weight, causing customers to pay more than the amount they actually receive. Walmart has been accused of deliberately printing incorrect weight labels on products such as bagged produce, meat, seafood, or discounted items sold by weight. Walmart's system has been alleged to be programmed to artificially inflate weights and mislabel scale readings in order to raise prices. The financial impact is substantial. Customers are quietly overcharged. Each transaction may only involve a few extra dollars, but multiplied across millions of purchases, the unlawful gains for Walmart are enormous. Indirect health consequences may also occur when customers do not receive the amount of food they believe they purchased. For example, buying 1 kilogram of oranges but actually receiving less, which can affect household nutrition planning. This practice led to a nationwide class action lawsuit accusing Walmart of systematically rigging weights to commit fraud. As a result, in 2024, Walmart agreed to pay $45 million in a settlement to compensate consumers across the United States who had purchased meat, fish, and produce sold by weight that was incorrectly labeled.
Walmart lawsuit settlement could earn some customers up to $500. The company agreed to a $45 million settlement.
Previously, Walmart had also paid $9.5 million to settle a similar lawsuit in Florida. A real-world example involved a customer in Florida who discovered that a package of chicken labeled as 4.66 pounds and priced at $19.20 actually weighed only about 2.37 pounds, roughly half of what was stated on the label. Many other packages of meat and bagged oranges were found to be similarly underweight. This form of weight fraud is a clear case of blatant consumer overcharging and is strictly prohibited by law. Prosecutors emphasized that selling underweight goods in this manner is illegal, and Walmart was required to commit to corrective measures, including retraining employees to ensure accurate weighing and labeling practices.
3. Selling expired or spoiled products. Walmart has repeatedly been found to have expired products on store shelves, particularly food items and baby products. While this behavior may be attributed to poor inventory management, when it occurs frequently, many suspect that Walmart intentionally sells expired goods to generate revenue instead of discarding them. The health risks are serious. Consuming expired food, infant formula, or children's medication can lead to food poisoning, reduced nutritional value, or long-term health consequences, especially for young children with weaker immune systems. A notable example involved investigative reports uncovering multiple Walmart stores in Florida selling infant formula and baby food that had been expired for weeks or even months. A mother named Deneen Wyman purchased Enfamil formula at Walmart and discovered it had expired several days earlier. When she returned it for an exchange, a store employee gave her another container. This one expired by several months. The incident sparked outrage as the same store sold 2 expired formula containers to the same customer, suggesting serious failures in expiration date management. Further investigation by reporters revealed dozens of other expired products on shelves at local Walmart stores, including yogurt expired by 3 weeks, Gerber baby food expired by 7 months, as well as expired children's vitamins and fever reducers. Many of the expired products were found in Walmart stores serving low-income communities, increasing public frustration and the perception of neglect. Walmart later acknowledged the issue, deployed staff to inspect shelves and remove items, and attributed the problem to the difficulty of managing tens of thousands of products.
4. Falsely labeling products as made in USA. Many Americans are willing to pay more for products labeled Made in USA because they trust the quality and want to support domestic manufacturing. Walmart took advantage of this sentiment by labeling numerous products on its website as Made in USA, when in reality they were manufactured in other countries. This false country of origin labeling is considered deceptive and violates Federal Trade Commission regulations governing Made in USA claims. Walmart's motive may have been to boost sales by leveraging the reputation of American-made goods or to create the image of supporting U.S. manufacturing in order to attract patriotic consumers. For example, in the past year, the FTC launched an investigation and found that more than 100 products on Walmart's website were labeled Made in USA despite not being produced in the United States. In one ironic case, sandwich bags manufactured in Thailand and toy vehicles assembled from Chinese components were marketed on Walmart's website as Made in USA. The FTC determined that these claims were misleading to consumers and required Walmart to immediately remove all false Made in USA labels from its website. Because Walmart acted quickly to correct the issue, the FTC did not impose a monetary penalty. However, the incident significantly damaged the company's credibility. The harm to consumers is clear. customers may have purchased imported goods under the false belief that they were American-made, resulting in financial loss, paying higher prices for quality or origin they did not receive, and a loss of trust. Additionally, some consumers make purchasing decisions based on patriotic values or a desire to avoid products from certain countries. Misleading them in this way directly undermines their right to make informed choices. Walmart had previously promoted a pledge to spend $250 billion over 10 years on American-made products to gain public goodwill. However, the false labeling scandal exposed what critics described as hypocrisy in its business practices. Following the incident, the FTC also issued warning letters requiring Walmart to closely monitor third-party sellers on its marketplace, as well as its own private label brands, to ensure compliance with country of origin regulations.
5. Fake rollback discounts and misleading comparison pricing. Walmart is widely known for its rollback program, special price reductions on select items, typically displayed with signage showing a former price and a discounted price. However, there have been allegations that Walmart inflates the size of these discounts by listing artificial original prices in violation of advertising and pricing laws. The specific tactic works like this. Walmart may display a product labeled was $299.97, rollback $179.97, leading customers to believe they are receiving a significant discount. In reality, the item may never have been sold at $299.97 for a reasonable period prior to the promotion. The $299.97 figure may simply be an artificial comparison price designed to mislead shoppers into thinking they are getting a major deal. In California, the law requires that a former price must have been the prevailing market price for at least 3 months prior. Otherwise, it may be considered deceptive. A class action lawsuit in California, Ceja versus Walmart, alleged that Walmart violated this law by advertising numerous rollback products with regular prices that did not reflect actual market pricing during the required 3-month period. As a result, customers are misled into believing they are getting a bargain, when in fact they may not be saving as much as they think, distorting their spending decisions. On social media, many shoppers have complained that Walmart sometimes raises prices temporarily and then advertises a discount that simply returns the item to its original price. For example, a Twitter user posted a photo of a television priced at $59, advertised as a rollback from $79. However, after checking past pricing history, the customer found that the TV had never actually been sold for $79. The organization Truth in Advertising has also listed Walmart among companies investigated for misleading comparison pricing practices on both its website and in stores. Beyond inflated original prices, some cases have involved exaggerated percentage discounts, for instance, advertising 50% off when the price was reduced only from $100 to $80, which is actually a 20% discount. While this conduct does not directly harm health, it violates consumers' economic rights and their right to truthful information. It makes it more difficult for shoppers to make rational purchasing decisions and may cause them to buy items they do not need simply because they believe they are receiving a significant discount. 6. Selling adulterated or inferior products while advertising them as premium. Walmart owns numerous private label brands such as Great Value, Equate, and Sam's Choice, and sells a wide range of food and household essentials. Several scandals indicated that certain Walmart-branded products did not match their advertised ingredients or quality, meaning customers paid for premium products but received inferior ones. A prominent example involves Great Value avocado oil. Pure avocado oil is considered a premium cooking oil with a higher price point, and Walmart advertised its product as 100% pure avocado oil.
However, independent academic testing found that great value avocado oil contained cheaper oils, such as soybean oil blended in, rather than being entirely avocado oil as labeled. In other words, Walmart was allegedly selling blended oil at the price of premium oil, conduct viewed as commercial fraud and deceptive to consumers, particularly because cheaper oils may contain higher levels of undesirable fats. The issue led to a class action lawsuit, Golikov versus Walmart, alleging false labeling of great value avocado oil. Similarly, Walmart faced criticism over great value honey labeled as raw, even though it had undergone ultrafiltration that removed pollen. The consequence of such practices is financial harm to consumers. Customers pay more for what they believe is a higher quality product, but receive something that does not match the claim. There can also be health implications. For example, if a blended oil contains undeclared ingredients, such as peanut oil, and a consumer has an allergy, the risk could be serious. Following the allegations, Walmart often made quiet corrections. Great value avocado oil was temporarily removed from shelves and later reintroduced with a different supplier and clearer labeling. However, the loss of consumer trust is harder to repair, and many shoppers have since avoided Walmart private label products when seeking premium quality. Beyond avocado oil, there have been additional class action lawsuits. Walmart's veggie straws were advertised as containing no artificial flavors or preservatives, yet were alleged to contain flavoring additives. Great Value mac and cheese was prominently labeled no artificial preservatives, despite containing citric acid, which functions as a preservative. These cases highlight inconsistencies between advertising claims and actual ingredients in certain Walmart products.
7. Misleading nutrition and benefit labeling. Beyond country of origin and ingredient issues, Walmart has also faced allegations of misleading marketing regarding product benefits and nutritional value, particularly for children's products, where parents are especially sensitive. The tactic involves using wording and packaging design that lead consumers to believe a product is healthier or more necessary than it actually is, encouraging them to pay a premium price. A notable example is Walmart's Parents' Choice Toddler Beginnings formula, a powdered milk product marketed for children over 1 year old, a so-called transition formula after 12 months. Walmart packaged this product in a way that closely resembled infant formula for babies aged 0 to 12 months, labeling it infant formula with iron, milk-based powder on the packaging. This design led many parents to believe it was similarly essential and beneficial for children 9 months and older, just like formula intended for infants under 1 year old. In reality, according to nutrition experts, children over 1 year old should drink regular cow's milk and eat a balanced, varied diet rather than relying on toddler formula. So-called toddler transition formulas generally provide no special nutritional advantage over a healthy diet. Worse, Walmart's Toddler Beginnings product was alleged to contain added sugars and less protein than whole cow's milk, making it less healthy than natural alternatives. By designing packaging that closely resembled infant formula for babies under 1 year old, Walmart allegedly misled many parents into continuing to purchase the product after their child turned 1, believing their child required a special transition formula. As a result, families spent money on what critics described as expensively repackaged powdered milk, often costing significantly more than regular milk, while offering no additional benefit. A cited survey indicated that 70% of respondents mistakenly believed toddler formulas like Toddler Beginnings were necessary for older children, despite expert consensus to the contrary. A group of parents filed a lawsuit against Walmart, alleging that the Toddler Beginnings labeling was misleading and constituted consumer deception. They argued that had they known the product offered no meaningful benefit beyond added sugar, they would not have purchased it or paid such a premium price. The financial harm is clear. Parents spent money on an unnecessary product due to misleading marketing. 8. Baby food containing heavy metals without warning.
One of the most serious scandals involving Walmart's children's products concerns the discovery of toxic heavy metals such as arsenic, lead, and cadmium in baby food, including its private label brand, Parents' Choice. These substances may originate from raw ingredients such as rice and vegetables, but if not properly controlled and transparently disclosed, the health risks are extremely serious. Exposure to heavy metals, even at low levels over an extended period, can interfere with brain development, reduce IQ, cause behavioral disorders, and has been associated with increased risks of ASD, ADHD, as well as liver and kidney damage. Infants are particularly vulnerable because their nervous systems are still developing. The controversy centers not only on the presence of heavy metals, but also on allegations that Walmart failed to fully disclose relevant information to consumers. According to investigations, when providing data to Congress, the company was alleged to have released only partial results, such as arsenic levels in rice, while not fully disclosing data related to lead and cadmium. This raised concerns about transparency in internal testing practices and the company's responsibility to provide adequate warnings. Legally, lawsuits filed by parents across the country have been consolidated into a federal multi-district litigation, MDL number 3101, with hundreds of cases currently pending. Plaintiffs allege that their children experienced developmental harm after consuming products containing heavy metals without clear warnings being provided.
9. Selling herbal supplements that do not contain the advertised ingredients. In a shocking development, the New York Attorney General announced the results of DNA testing conducted on multiple store-brand herbal supplement products. The findings revealed that the majority did not contain the herbal DNA listed on their labels. Among the retailers investigated, Walmart, Target, Walgreens, and GNC, Walmart performed the worst. Only 4% of Walmart's tested samples showed detectable DNA from the herb listed on the label, while the remaining 96% reportedly contained substances such as rice powder, beans, or weeds. What does this mean in practice? For example, a consumer might purchase echinacea capsules under Walmart's Spring Valley brand, expecting immune support benefits. However, the capsules may actually contain only ground rice powder or plant fillers with no echinacea at all. In effect, consumers paid real money for what could be considered a fake product without knowing it. The consequences are serious. First, consumers lose money paying for active ingredients that are not present. Second, and more concerning, there may be health risks if the capsules contain undeclared substances. For instance, one Walmart ginseng sample reportedly contained black walnut powder. For individuals allergic to tree nuts, consuming such an undisclosed ingredient could trigger a severe allergic reaction, including anaphylactic shock. Additionally, individuals relying on specific supplements for health support, such as St. John's wort for mild depression, may receive no therapeutic benefit if the active ingredient is absent, potentially allowing their condition to worsen. When confronted, Walmart quickly removed the questioned products from shelves. The company, along with other retailers, argued that DNA testing methods might not be appropriate because certain manufacturing processes can degrade or eliminate detectable DNA, and suggested that alternative chemical testing methods may be more suitable. A class action lawsuit was filed on behalf of consumers, alleging that Walmart engaged in deceptive practices by selling mislabeled herbal supplements. While the FDA requires manufacturers to ensure product safety and labeling accuracy, this case highlighted weaknesses in oversight, as such products remained on shelves until the New York Attorney General initiated testing. The lesson for consumers is clear. Do not blindly trust the label on a low-cost dietary supplement. 10. Inflating prices on infant products. Another subtle tactic involves selling two essentially identical children's products at significantly different prices by labeling them for different age groups. Specifically, acetaminophen-based fever and pain relievers, the same active ingredient as Tylenol, are commonly marketed in two versions: infants, for babies, and children's, for older kids. In the past, these products differed in concentration.
The infant version was more concentrated and came with a dropper, while the children's version was more diluted and came with a dosing cup. However, since 2011, the FDA has required both versions to have the same standardized concentration of 160 milligrams per 5 milliliters to prevent dosing confusion. Despite this, Walmart continued selling Equate Infants Pain and Fever with a syringe-style dropper and Equate Children's Pain and Fever with a dosing cup at identical concentrations, differing only in the included measuring device. The critical issue, the infant's version was priced at nearly 3 times more per milliliter than the children's version. Many parents, concerned about safety for newborns, routinely purchased the more expensive infant's product, believing babies could not take the children's version. Walmart capitalized on this concern by designing distinctly colored packaging, prominently displaying infants or children's at the top of each bottle, and placing them in separate sections of the store, reinforcing the impression that they were different formulations. In reality, both products contained the same active ingredient at the same concentration. A 2-month-old and a 2-year-old could take either product, only the dosage varies based on weight, as outlined in the dosing instructions. This practice was viewed by critics as exploiting parental anxiety to justify significantly higher pricing for essentially the same medication. A parent in California filed a lawsuit against Walmart, arguing that no parent would willingly pay 3 times more if they knew the 2 medications were identical, calling the labeling strategy a systematic deception. Walmart responded that it complies with FDA labeling regulations, which still permit the use of infants and children's as marketing distinctions, as long as dosing instructions are clear. This case illustrates the subtle power of marketing. Adding a single word like infants to a label can be enough to extract significantly more money from worried parents. If you're still watching and finding these details valuable, I'd really appreciate it if you'd leave the number 10 in the comments below, just to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you'll consider subscribing and ringing that bell so you don't miss a thing. Your support is what allows us to keep creating helpful content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's get back to it. General solutions for customers to avoid fraud and deception. 1. Carefully check receipts and prices. Always compare the prices on your receipt with the shelf prices immediately after checkout. If you discover you were charged more than the listed price, request a correction right away. Keep your receipt as proof in case you need to file a complaint. In addition, for items sold by weight, such as produce or meat, consider reweighing them on an available in-store scale before paying to ensure there is no shortage.
2. Pay attention to expiration dates and product quality. When purchasing food, infant formula, medication, and similar products, always check the expiration date printed on the packaging while still at the shelf. Avoid selecting items that are close to expiration or already expired. For frozen goods and canned products, visually inspect for signs of damage or spoilage, such as bulging cans or torn packaging. If you find expired items on store shelves, notify the store manager. If the issue appears serious or repeated, consider reporting it to your local consumer protection agency. Extra caution is especially important when purchasing food and products for children. Be a vigilant and informed shopper. 3. Do not be misled by discount tactics or promotional advertising. Do not purchase an item solely because it is labeled 50% off or heavily promoted as a rollback. Evaluate the product's true value independently. Compare prices through other sources. Mobile apps can scan barcodes and check online pricing to determine whether the discount is genuine. If you suspect that a store raised the price before advertising a markdown, take photos as evidence and report the matter to your state's consumer protection or advertising enforcement agency. Smart shopping means always asking, is the original price they're showing actually credible? Staying alert to dramatic, huge savings claims can help you avoid psychological traps.
4. Carefully read ingredient lists and country of origin labels. For packaged foods, dietary supplements, cosmetics, and similar products, take time to read the ingredient list on the back of the package instead of relying solely on front label marketing claims. If you notice inconsistencies, for example, a product advertised as 100% pure but listing unfamiliar additives in the ingredients, reconsider your purchase. Similarly, check the country of origin label. If an item claims Made in USA but does not provide a specific manufacturer address, or if it belongs to a category typically produced overseas, approach it with caution and look for additional information, such as customer reviews or news reports. For electronics and household appliances, be alert to counterfeit products. Carefully examine brand logos, packaging quality, and official warranty labels. If purchasing from Walmart's website through a third-party seller, review the seller's ratings and prioritize products that are fulfilled by Walmart. 5. Shop mindfully and do your research. Especially when purchasing products for babies or health-related items, consult reliable sources such as doctors, nutrition experts, and scientific studies, rather than relying solely on a retailer's marketing claims. For example, understanding that toddler formula is not truly necessary can help you save money and avoid exposing your child to added sugars. Similarly, knowing that children's fever reducers now have the same standardized concentration can help you make a more cost-effective choice instead of overpaying because of a single word on the label.
6. Preserve evidence and speak up. If you encounter fraud, such as purchasing counterfeit goods, being overcharged, or finding expired products, preserve evidence. Take photos of the product, receipt, and labels, and document the date, time, and details of the incident. Report the issue immediately to a Walmart store manager so it can be addressed internally, exchange, refund, etc. You may also leave public reviews on platforms such as Walmart's website, the Better Business Bureau, BBB, social media, or Yelp to warn other consumers and create pressure for improvement. If the issue is serious, involving health harm or significant financial loss, or if Walmart fails to resolve it adequately, contact your state's Consumer Protection Agency or file a formal complaint with the FTC. Many successful class action lawsuits began with customers who were willing to speak up. If you've made it this far, it means you truly care about your rights and your family's well-being, and that is what matters most. If this video provided value to you, please hit the like button so more people can access this information. Share it with your loved ones, especially parents, grandparents, or anyone who frequently shops at supermarkets. Your awareness today could help someone avoid harm tomorrow. Leave a comment below. Have you ever experienced a similar situation while shopping? Do you check your receipt every time you pay, or only when something seems suspicious? I read every comment and genuinely appreciate hearing your real-life experiences. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss upcoming analyses on consumer rights, food safety, supermarkets, and the things companies don't want you to know. Thank you for taking the time to watch. Your support not only helps this channel grow, but also contributes to building a community of informed, vigilant consumers who are willing to speak up.